The Missing Voices Coalition is a group of organizations. It's composed of around 16 different non-profit organizations as well as CBOs that all have the same common goal to end police killings and enforce disappearances in Kenya. So what we as Missing Voices do is we do a lot of documentation on police killings and enforced disappearances, and we push for promoting police accountability.
My legal names on my ID is Javan Ofula. I'm a community activist, leader and artivist. I do poetry and rap music, and I come from the Eastlands of Nairobi. The process that we've been doing as community artists and also a collaboration with Juliani is one that we wanted to see so much come out of. We've had artists we've worked with in different collaborations, in different campaigns to achieve different things, especially to talk about where they come from, what they go through, both negative and positive. And we thought it is just good enough and beautiful to not only leave artists for concerts or for performances, but to build them so that they build others.
So basically, we realized that one of the most effective ways to actually get people to listen and also empower people is actually through art. We realize art is really palatable and it has this really incredible way of transcending through classes, through ethnicity, through tribes, and so forth. So as Missing Voices, we've been partnering a lot with artivists over the past couple years. So back in 2021, what we had done was we had actually partnered with Music in Africa to have a project that will actually empower 21 artivists, not only to be able to speak of social change, but also to be able to empower them within their own skill sets, right? So empower their own capacities as artists. So we had taken them through trainings, and then after the trainings we had a live rehearsal session.
Naitwa Juliani, hip hop artist and founder at Hip Hop City. Nilikuwa na participate kwa hii stuff kama mentor, and of course I had a really great experience na artists to hear what their concerns are, and my experience actually kama inaweza saidia ku answer some of those questions around activism and using the power of art to bring social change and social political change, So so it was a really great experience to even me share the why I do what I do and why we are on this path, but also the business angle of it and why I feel this how we should do it, and this is the path I've chosen.
So first we choreographed training sessions where artists had to learn about intellectual property, marketing, branding, mental health as an issue by talking to experts and just sharing what they go through.
It was really interesting being with other like-minded creatives. Being able, I think we're so used as artists being on stage and being the ones who are giving, but in this sense we were the ones who are receiving, we were the ones who were gaining knowledge, things that we could be able to use in our career beyond the event that we were planning. So it was very inspiring. I learned a lot, and I also had fun learning it with other creatives.
Last session, that was mental health. That was powerful, sana, on my side. I think I gained a lot from that session.
The workshop was exceptional. A lot of learning, a lot of experience. Also sharing the vibe with the different artists is so amazing.
My experience with the workshop, it was enlightening. It was very. It was a blessing having all the key speakers there, of course, Juliani, people who are well versed in this industry, and I learned a lot. I really learned a lot as an artist and also as an individual.
To some about intellectual property, yani wasanii kujua their rights, where to register their art. Tunaonyesha as an artist you're still human and you need that time to show yourself love and be easy on yourself. So for me, hiyo ilikuwa kitu fiti yani.
The greatest lesson that I have learned is that when we come together and put our voices together to air certain issues, there is more impact, there is more there's a lot of brains behind it, and you can get to have these conversations and know what works and what doesn't work.
The greatest thing that I've learned in this process and this whole thing is that I have a voice that needs to be heard by everyone to influence the change that I would want to see.
Nimelearn power yangu kama msanii. Somehow I think nilikuwa underestimate earlier, but the process imefanya nime-realize niko more powerful than I think.
The greatest lessons that I've learned is that I'll have to believe in myself first before anyone else can believe in myself. And the musical journey is a journey whereby a lot of people, the society doesn't really understand artistic people. So as an artist, I have to understand myself first, because I realize that I'm different. I look different to the people in the society.
I learned a lot on branding, you know. I learned so much, especially from the intellectual property session. We've not had a lot of, we've not been spoken to a lot about that, and it's also information that's not easily accessible to artists in a place like Mathare.
I really enjoyed being a part of the process. Nime meet a lot of artists when you were brilliant manze. Wase when you wanna think be different, wase wanna think mimi. As in poets, I never thought like I would ever work with poets. So nime learn a lot during this experience ya kwenda hizo workshops. Juliani teach a lot about stage presence, about kuweza kusustain yourself throughout the industry na nini. Yani those conversations zilikuwa very enlightening, and pia kusikia other opinions from other people as well.
The fact that we were interacting with different artists who are doing different genre of art, it was an amazing moment, getting to learn their experiences, their challenges, and everything that they've been experiencing.
This process has been one that we've been working on for over a year, which we've mostly focused on issues that talk about human rights, especially police brutality and enforced disappearances.
Vitu mingi wrong zinaendelea juu kwanza watu hayuko aware, ama wako aware but wanadhani inafaa ikuwe hivyo, but things zinafaa change.
One thing that we've realized is as soon as you unite and you all speak up against a specific violation, it's very likely that that violation will hinder and will stop eventually.
The expectation is to spark a conversation around these issues of police reforms and EJEs and enforced disappearances, because I feel young people need to stop ignoring what is happening, and when they come together and we start these conversations, we'll radicalize a solution out of whatever we are speaking.
There comes a time when, you know, when you're facing oppression as a community, you just need to stand against it, and that was a sort of call to action. I didn't want to complain. I didn't want to tell people about the system. I feel like people are kind of aware about the system. It was more of like, okay, so this is what it is, this is what is happening, this is a call to action, this is a call to action to fight, a call to action to do something about it, because, you know, like when they're done with me, they're coming for you next. And if you're not going to, or we're not going to come together and speak about it, then, you know, at the end of the day, no one is benefiting from it.
Ni jukumu yako tu, yani ndio tuone hii change ifike. Jua ni jukumu yako mahali huko. So, usiongoje Fama lete hii change peke yake through music yake. Usiongoje Bill hapo nyuma kamera lete hii change peke yake through film yake. Wewe kama uko kwa soko ama unadu kitu yote, ianzie pia hapo kwako. Nimo ndio tatengeneza hiyo world.
My definition of power is to be able to use my voice to make a change or make a positive impact in issues that I see need to be addressed.
So that was what was seen, or rather we saw to be part of the journey. Then we also had live session training so that they can get past studio recording and playback performances. So after that, then we had the live performance at Alliance Française, the show that brought all of us together.
Na make sure manze take time mkuerana na sisi manze jo hapo hivyo Alliance Française na come to tujibambe hapo hivyo jo tusikize music, live music yani kutoka Iceland yani unajua.
Expectations zangu za Friday ni ati tukuja hapo first tukiwa healthy, tupige show for the audience when you come. Like you guys should expect conscious music, like music and art yenye nakuja na consciousness na entertainment. Unajua really you have to, it's either conscious or entertaining. So this time itakuwa a conscious type of art and entertaining. So unakuja kujibamba at the same time kujua what is happening in the, you know, watu wanajisema and they're just true self and everything. So yeah.
Sound check, I was like, this is the day, yo. We're just waiting to see how that stuff gonna look like, you know. It's my first time I'm rocking the live band, like this stage, it's a big stage, you know. I was just waiting to see how I used that need to just weigh myself and be like, I'm ready for the event, you know. And it was dope. From that knee, from the videos that were captured, and I was like, like at least I could learn, analyze myself before I go into that event. And
rehearsals was also amazing, you know, getting to work with professional. I wouldn't say that it was my first time working with a band, but it was my first time working with those experienced, great, amazing instrumentalists, and also the vocalist. It was so powerful.
It was nice having to rehearse before the performance, getting to sync with the band and sync with the other artists.
It's my first time working with a band, but I feel like it's different because now I have to be more professional and I don't have to use instrumentals anymore. I don't have to use playbacks anymore. So first and foremost, I have to be audible when I'm on stage. I have to sing all the lyrics. I don't have to like wait for the fans to sing along all the playback to help me.
So at concert now, when I saw like the artists bringing to life some of the lessons we learned, ile practice session ulifanya, and I could sit back and just watch consistently. Of course I moved around, but I hardly moved when I was watching the performances. They were so like catchy, intriguing, and trying to see them, each artist bring their A game and uniquely bring in their A game. So that was really something to see, and nashukuru sana nilikuwa part of it.
It was the first time to work with the live band, so that was like one of the best things that I took away, you know. I've never really worked with a band, so even just for me, in terms of my craft, just checking myself in the mic to this heavy sound, that was a good thing for me to practice.
The best moment was when I was on stage and this feeling that you interacting with the crowd and getting like the direct contact with the crowd in a way that you're there with a good sound and a good audience and a good band, and having an amazing moment talking about irresistible voices that are rare in the community, and voices that talk about social issues in the community. It was something that was amazing.
The show wasn't something else. It was off the roof, man. Seeing the energy, having all the fans from our communities, seeing my people from Mathare, Mlango Kubwa come to Alliance Française and enjoy the vibe. It was so surreal. We connected on a deeper level, and I believe the show improved my artistry.
Now the show was crazy. I enjoyed the show because first nili get kuona our artists in their element. Most of them sikuwajaona msee kama Flawless in his element. I've just seen him tukiwa pale tuki-exchange words hapa pale. Sikuona msee kama Abu Dhabi. Man, Abu Dhabi alikuwa na kill kwa stage. Msee kama Miko Migra, and I was like, oh man, this is such a dope experience to see people in the theory part of it. Lafsa kuona in action the way people want to execute. The show was brilliant. I think it should have been longer. I think it should continue till now. I think nafatuna ipeleka everywhere in Nairobi, everywhere in Kenya, just to show, you know, what art can do for activism and all that stuff.
The show was super fire. It's one of that show that you just see dynamics of talents, dynamics of minds, creativity of, you know, enormous, out of the world fire. We had spoken word, we had poetry, we had rap music, we had traditional music, and also we just had people sharing talents across border. Artists collaborated in this particular show. Not everyone performed as they came, but others performed better than they came, others performed with others, and others are ready to do more projects. Yeah.
I hope whatever we've learned throughout itakita kwa hata say, and then it produces whatever is necessary. Yeah.
So for 2022, we really hope to work with the artivists and create a tour whereby we can actually go to the various hotspots that are typically affected a lot by elections and electoral violence within Kenya, and campaign for peaceful elections, and also push people to actually start standing up against police excesses in order to further push the agenda of police accountability. So I think as a coalition, I think even though it's going to be a bit of a tense year with the elections, I think it's going to be really, I can really see how working with the artivists is going to be really impactful in the long run, and how they're really going to be able to generate that change that we're kind of looking for. So we look forward to seeing the various changes that the process will create.
Belongs to the people, lakini si hivyo uaga. Dhulma kunormalize, so nikiona Land Cruiser inakuja ni mbio natokaga. Wanakula mulungula, rushwa, stuka mlinzi, wali recruit kwa